There you have it. So award-winning actor, writer, comedian Daniel Stolfi is joining us today, and he's getting set for his 5th solo comedy special called Ruined. He's here today. Thanks for joining us, Daniel.
Thank you for having me.
So listen, before we get into all this, psychological, we're going to go back to our childhood and talk about what ruined our lives.
Yeah.
Let's go back a little bit, because the last time you were on, you were here to talk about the comedian versus cancer. You went through something like that was just life-changing for you back in, was it 2008?
2008, yeah, I was 25 years old. Yeah.
And you were diagnosed with cancer.
I was diagnosed with acute non-Hodgkin's T lymphoblastic lymphoma, stage 3. Big, long title.
Yeah. And quite a journey you're on, though. But you, listen, you came on the other end. It's been 15 years now?
15 years,
so
cancer-free.
That's amazing.
Yeah,
Good for you. Good for you. But within that, we're just talking about really quickly, you found a way to deal with that journey by writing and by your comedy. So take us through that a little bit.
Yeah, it was the pandemic, and I was looking to share my story another way. I had done a live show for 10 years called Cancer Can't Dance Like This. And I really just wanted to kind of put an end to that chapter of things, but also have my story in a way that everybody could kind of consume it if they needed it and that kind of thing. And I wrote this book and shared it with people, and it was great. The response has been amazing with the book, and people are still buying it to this day when friends or family members get diagnosed, and they're sharing it with them and stuff like that. So and then my comedy is infused in all of it too, right? So I'm trying to use humor to get through these tough situations, right?
It's interesting because it was such a journey for you, and then you had these different ways of you had your Cancer Can't Dance Like This, and you have your book, and you have all these ways of dealing with it through your comedy, through your channel. Do you feel like now you've kind of are you kind of closed that book? Let's close that book. Not let's still get the book.
Still read the book.
Read the book. But you know what I mean. For yourself personally, was it kind of like a way for you to dealt with it and then move on?
Let's move on now to the similar. You had someone else here earlier today talking about what do you do after, right? Let's move on to the next thing, which it's continuing to do comedy. I'm a comedian. I started in comedy, and I've done a number of shows that have nothing to do with cancer in my experience, and I wanted to continue to share humor in a different way.
So when you come out of this now you're looking at comedy from a different lens now, because now you're focusing in a different direction. What is it, or what was it that, I know you've done a show last year, but specifically with Ruin now, take me through this. You're sitting somewhere or whatever, and all of a sudden you sit back and say, my parents, what they did to me, and I'm going to make a joke out of it. How did that happen?
Okay, so it's a bit of a cool story. So today is actually mine and my wife's 12-year wedding anniversary.
And you're here.
And I am here on National Women's Wife Appreciation Day. Appreciate it. I'm here today. That's what I'm doing. Talking about Ruin. Talking about the show. And at that wedding, my dad made this speech out of nowhere where he was talking about how they ruined my childhood, right? Because we would always complain, like, "Oh, you're ruining my life."
So he was kind of having
he was having fun with it, right?
Yeah.
And everybody loved it. Everybody loved it. We could always end it with like, "Ruined. We ruined your childhood," and everybody was loving it. I didn't really think much of it.
Sure.
But then my friends, they would every once in a while just be like, "Ruined," and they would just like say, and then just earlier this year, my wife and I were like, there's something about that, this immigrant, children of immigrant parents, and in that upbringing, and the differences and the cultural differences that you had to go through when you were a kid, and like how they ruined your childhood. And I was like, that'd be a fun show. And let's develop it into potentially a TV series. And then my wife was like, you're writing a new solo comedy show anyway. Why don't you put a lot of that into it?
Sure.
And that's how Ruined was born.
Okay, so can you give us a sense? Something that we might relate to. How did they ruin you? How did they ruin your childhood?
Come on, you tell me. You tell me. Lots of just funny things. One thing, and I want to save a lot for the show.
Of course. Sure.
But when I was a kid, my dad got me white skates, hockey skates. I wanted to skate and be like all the Canadian kids, right? But they were white hockey skates. And back in '87, white skates meant girls hockey skate or girls skates,
sure.
right? And so I got made fun of when I went on the ice, and I still cannot skate to this day.
Because of those white ones.
You ruined me.
You ruined them.
You ruined my dream.
Was it? I think it was also because I know for my family too. When you think back then and like the cost of things, those were the cheaper. They also cost less.
It was
so
2 for
listen,
1 special.
Exactly. So you're getting the white ones, and that's just the way. And then it went handed down to whoever was
me
there.
and my brother, right?
So there
we
you
were
go.
like,
Was he ruined with that too?
No, he didn't care. He skates really well. He plays hockey, but it affected me.
It affected you.
It
affected you. So, one of the things I love, and I think, you as a comedian would know this, when you want to put on a show and you want to, it's obviously your life experience, your experiences, which I'm sure you're drawing from.
Yeah.
But you want, people have to get it. So do you, are you, obviously you're channeling all of these very common moments in our lives that we understand and to pull from. That's probably very important as a comedian to make sure you can do that, right?
Yeah, a lot of times what I've learned over the years with doing comedy is if you're telling your truth and you're telling stories that are happen to you, it just relates to people in a way that you never really thought. And as long as you're telling your truth and you're telling like real stories, someone might sit there and go like, well, it wasn't skates that ruined, but it was something else in that kind of world. And my dad did that too. Like from multiple, very diverse cultures, like different cultures. There's a lot of similarities,
very
right?
Relatable,
Very relatable.
Kind of all
so,
into the same thing.
Yeah, but just in a different way.
Sure. I love that. What does your family think of? What does your dad think of the show? Is he just happy that actually he's getting some like? He's kind of being put on that stage, right?
I think he loves it. He's coming twice. They're coming twice to the show.
He wasn't sure in that skit.
Yeah, exactly. But my mom was like, "Go ahead, try to make fun of me. Nobody's gonna laugh when you make fun of your mother." And I'm like, "Okay, well, we'll see, Mom. We'll see, Mom."
I love that. That's great. So give us, so our viewers watching. So it's kicking off September 30th. That's day one, up until October the 4th at the Theater Center, right?
That's right.
What does your solo performance look like? Break it down a little bit. How does it work?
Okay, so I'm kind of dividing the show into different areas of the stage. So you're gonna be getting stories about my childhood and how my parents ruined my childhood. You're gonna be getting some like a lot of physical comedy because I like to do physical comedy, and then you're gonna get some stand-up comedy.
Beautiful.
That might get me in a little bit of trouble.
I was reading you said people just beware. Beware.
Beware.
And you also have some opening acts that people can get more info when they go online. It's all there. Okay,
great Toronto comedians.
I love that you're supporting other comics as well.
Of course. They're worth the price of admission.
Beautiful.
Alone,
I love that. I want to tell you, I'm so happy that I got to meet you in person.
Yeah.
Last time was virtual. So great to have you here in our set. And thank you for everything. Congratulations.
Thank you.
If anybody wants more information, you can of course check them out on your socials, right?
Yep.
And of course the Theater Center where you can purchase the ticket September 30th to October 4th. Let's go and find out what ruined his childhood. Daniel Stolfi. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
We are going to